Hey guys, what's going on and welcome back. Today I'm going to explain to you as a beginner what is MCP. Okay, so if you are in automation or N8N niche, or if you're a beginner who's kind of getting into the whole thing, you might have heard this word MCP. Okay, so what is MCP? As a beginner, you might ask. So MCP essentially is a model context protocol. Okay, guys, as a bonus, you already know. With all my videos, I provide these JSON templates for free, meaning that you can download them. There's going to be a link below the video in the description box. And once you do it, you can just literally import it into your N8N right here. Click on the three dots, import, and you're going to have the same thing, okay? So if you go to my YouTube channel, each of my videos that I do videos on has a link to download these JSON templates. Okay, what's really cool, I usually sticky notes explaining how everything works. And even in this case, but here as a beginner, once you download it, you will have the sticky note and you will know exactly what I'm talking about, right? But since I have it here, let me just walk you through quickly what is MCP. Show you some live examples and just kind of get you a clear understanding of what it is. So again, MCP is essentially a model context protocol, and it was essentially developed by the team who is responsible for building Claude, or essentially Anthropic. Okay, if you guys don't know Anthropic is essentially the AI company that built Claude. Okay, and if you guys scratching your head like what is Claude, let me refresh your head. So I'm sure you guys have seen this interface. This is Claude, and the team behind the Claude built the MCP server, kind of the idea behind it. Okay, and what it does. Okay, so essentially it allows AI models like ChatGPT or Claude to interact with external tools. Okay, APIs and essentially and automation platforms in general, right? So if you look here, guys, let me just kind of see. If you guys look at the screen, I have this really simple sort of N8N flow. It's AI agent that is connected to MCP tool. And this MCP tool is essentially Firecrawl, okay? And Firecrawl is a API, okay? And also they support MCPs officially. It's a web scraper tool, okay? So I'm able to web scrape content on the web based on my search query. So if you guys look here, these are all the search queries I did. I tested, okay? So essentially every time I ask my AI agent right here to do a search on a search term, okay, it's gonna use the MCP client tool in N8N that is connected to MCP server in Firecrawl, okay? So let me just kind of show you how it works behind the scenes. So MCP is essentially a tool, okay? If I click on the right click on the add node and I type in MCP client tool, it's essentially this one right here, okay? Just right here, I don't have any endpoints or anything like that, but it's essentially this tool right here, and it's an MCP tool that's official node or a subnode or tool node for the AI agent, okay, that it can work with, okay? So if I open it up right here, I just removed my API key here, but again, if you guys are curious, the way Firecrawl works, you can create an account and you get up to 1,000 free monthly searches for web scraping, okay? And just go here to API keys, copy this API key right here, and then bring it here, and essentially you're gonna have this SEC endpoint, and then instead of API key here, you will just copy paste your API key, and it's gonna work just like that, okay? Yeah, so this is how it works. It's as simple as that, literally just copy pasting SEC endpoint to use MCP server with different tools, for example, with the Firecrawl. And the way it's gonna work, well, let me just refresh so I can reset my API key because I deleted there previously. The way it's gonna work, I can simply ask an agent to do a search, okay? And what's cool about MCP tools that AI agents do understand naturally that, okay, there's a MCP tool connected that seems to be some kind of web scraper, okay? So it does understand that there's a tool and it does web scraping without me explaining anything to an agent right here. You guys see there's no prompt, no system message, and I can go here and say something like, what are some latest N8N news this month, let's say, okay? If I open up the MCP client tool right here, you guys can see here is my query or my prompt. Okay, and then it goes into a description. It's basically ChatGPT is building a prompt for the web scraper, sends that to the MCP tool, and then it does all of this research. Just look at that, guys. Here we have the URLs, which is pretty awesome. We have the URLs, latest news, and all of this was essentially done by a simple MCP tool and connecting to Firecrawl. That's pretty awesome, right? And if I go back, I'm gonna have here pretty extensive summary from ChatGPT, okay? And it released new versions, okay? And it then introduced evaluations for our workflows, and essentially everything that is sort of the latest news within the N8 and niche, guys, okay? And this is all done by this super simple flow, and just kind of to show you how powerful is MCP, you know, I don't need to define any specific API endpoints. I don't need to have anything. I don't need to have any GET requests, okay? Because if I would be using something like, for example, HTTP to get data from web scraping, I would need to essentially have HTTP node that's gonna have, for example, I don't know, if I want to send a request to API, I will need to have a post. Okay, so I need a post, and then to retrieve a data from API, for example, I would need to add another node, okay, and that's going to be an HTTP, and that node will be basically a get node because I need to get it back, right? So that kind of shows you how easy it is with the MCP. I don't have any of that, okay, and AIagent knows how to work with naturally, and you have essentially a web scraper / AIagent that can do research on the web for you, but by just having like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nodes in N8, and that's pretty awesome. And you can log it or send it to your Gmail after, and it's also really, really easy, okay? So that's essentially one of the ways. Again, Firecrawl is not the only one. I believe also 11 Labs has their own MCP server, and essentially you can use, you can build AI-powered agents that can call people, follow up on leads, create appointments, and you can connect them to N8 and for example, to your Google Calendar and to your Gmail, and that AI agent through Voice Labs MCP can directly connect to all of the nodes in N8, and so it will in real-time access. It will have access to calendar. It's going to make appointments, change things, delete events in the calendar, and it can send in live follow-up email. So for example, if the customer says, hey, can you send me a quote, and it can do it real time, it has access to MCP to your Gmail, and it does it real time. So it's like a actual communication with a human being, which is pretty awesome. That kind of shows you the power of MCP servers, right? And you can also do use MCP servers in a different way. So for example, I have a fresh N8 and workflow here. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add a chat trigger. Okay, I'll leave it blank. Then I'm gonna add a agent. Okay, then my agent needs obviously a AI model. So 4.1 is fine. Actually, I'm gonna leave it to 4.1. Okay, just for the creativity boost. There you go. Cool. So now I'll just give it a simple memory since we're going to be chatting with our AIagent. 5 context windows is fine. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a MCP. MCP, let me see. It's going to be, I'm going to add MCP tool. Okay. Again, I'm doing the same thing, but now we're going to be doing something slightly different. Now I'm going to add a different node called MCP server trigger. Okay, so essentially what we're going to build quickly here, we're going to build a agent that can communicate with different tools. Okay, again, you can attach all of them under the tools again, but if you want to keep things kind of clean and granular, so we want to create MCP server for each of the tools that you want to work with. So for example, if I want to have a agent that can handle my Gmail, okay, so first let's connect the MCP servers. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on MCP server trigger here. I'll change the production URL, really important. I'm going to copy paste this one here. Okay, let me just save everything, and then I'm going to bring that SEC endpoint to MCP client tool here, and I'm going to copy paste it in here. Okay, so this way, this is essentially a communication route for a agent with the MCP trigger node that we just added. Okay, so now we established the connection between the two. Now let's add a tool. So again, this is kind of an internal example, but for external tools, same thing, right? So we have MCP tool SEC endpoint that's going to communicate with external MCP tool out there, right? So here I have an MCP server in n8n, and let's say I want to add it a Gmail tool, and this Gmail tool will be able to send, okay? So I'm gonna leave it this AIagent. So this essentially for AIagent, it's gonna be able to fill it in based on my input. I'll show you just in a sec. So this is handled by AIagent, and message also handled by agent. Okay, so the operation is sent. I want to be able to send. Then I'm gonna copy paste the tool. I'm gonna connect it as well, but this time I want to as well get. Okay, remember get many. Limit, yeah, I don't want to like maximum like 10 emails so we don't eat up all the tokens. Limit is 10. Okay, so we can send get, and let's say I want to as well reply. Okay, so I'm gonna connect this one as well, and want to reply. Okay, message ID also handled by agent, and message is handled by agent. Okay, so cool. So now we have it. The only thing I forgot is I forgot to connect to my Gmail. So let me just do that. This is my Gmail, and this is my Gmail here too, and this one too. If you're asking me how you can authenticate your Gmail, all you're gonna do, just really click here, create a credential, and sign in with your Gmail account here, and sync it up, accept all the events, and yeah, you're pretty much good to go. It's that easy. Okay, so that is good. So now I'm gonna go to my work Gmail, and let's see, the last two emails I have from Fred, and then I have also from the Beautify. And let's see the topics. So building an AIagent, okay, and we click on the strategy. Okay, so cool. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to agent. I'm gonna say, hey, can you list me the last 3 emails I got? Okay, let's give it a shot. Okay, there's error somewhere. Could not connect. I think because it's inactive. Okay, we forgot to. Let's refresh. Okay, now we need to enable it. It has to be active, otherwise it's not gonna work. Hey, can you is the last 3 emails I got? Let's see if that fixed it, or I think it should. Yeah. Okay, so now I was able to communicate with MCP server. Again, it's really important when you're working with MCP servers. It has to be flow has to be active. Okay. So let's see. I'm having access to your email at the moment due to an authorization issue. Let's see what is the. Okay, the issue might be that we need to re-authenticate the account. So if I do this one, and let me just re-sign in, and let me just choose this one. Okay, I think that's the problem. We need to re-authenticate it. Okay, so connection is successful. Let's give it a shot. And now I'm gonna do something. Alright, there's Gmail new. Okay, so I'm gonna save that. And let me just fix up the notes. Sometimes the authentication drops, it's normal. So if you have this type of error, you know what to do now, okay? So let me just save that, and let's refresh everything. And let's try now. What are the last 3 emails I got? Okay, let's send that. Cool, now it worked, yeah. So it was really authentication issue. So sometimes happens because again, when you authenticate something to a through n8n, there is in a background expiration token. So sometimes it expires for security reasons, and you just need to essentially redo the authentication flow, and then it works, right? So now I have from the Beautify, Fred from Fireflies, and exactly that's the one, right? Now we can say, can you send me the summary of these emails to my email at arthur.thebox@thebeautify.com. Okay, now it's gonna send me an email. It's gonna summarize everything, and cool. I should have an email now. Let me see. Okay, okay, there it is. Summary of your last 3 emails, and here's a summary that I asked from the OpenAI ChatGPT. Pretty awesome, guys. So that just kind of shows you the power, and you can create MCP servers for any tool out there, for external tools. Even Claude has one. So if you have a Claude desktop version, you can connect it to different MCP servers, and it can generate JSON templates for you, have access to latest n8n workflow, to GitHub, and a bunch of other cool stuff, guys. Okay, so I hope this sort of crash course on MCPs was clear enough. If not, just go ahead and let me know your questions in the comments, and I'll help you out. And don't forget to download this entire JSON template for free, so you can kind of see the examples. Yeah, guys, and if you did enjoy the video, as always, like and subscribe, enable notifications, and you already know I'm gonna see you next time. Have a good one.